Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. I got this one wrong, that's for sure, because I thought that Brian Norman Jr. would stop Devin Haney late in the fight. Not a bit of it. He didn't come close to it. The judges' scorecards showed a unanimous decision, a deserved unanimous decision for Devin Haney. But the judges' score tallies, I mean, I had this 117, 110, which was the same as one of the judges. Another judge had it 116, 111. Okay, I live with that. But 114, 113, one of the judges had it. What on earth was he watching? Because that basically is 6-6 in rounds, with a 10-8 in round two for Haney because he knocked Norman over. In no shape or form was this a 6-6 fight, right? Devin Haney won this fight. He won it convincingly. Like I say, he floored Norman in the second round. The first round I gave to Norman, I thought he edged it, little bit of aggression. Second round, quite late in the round, Haney shuddered Norman Jr. with a big left hook, and he sort of did a little stutter step. And then Haney followed through with an overhand right, which puts Norman on the floor. Norman, after that, just didn't get into the fight. Not really. He looked, he's a big puncher. He's always been a bit sort of up and down, up and down in style, a bit basic. Not a great deal of head movement or movement at the waist. But heavy hands. He came in undefeated, 28 wins, 22 KOs. Scored a beautiful, that incredible knockout over Jin Sasaki over in Japan. Scored a brilliant win over Giovanni Santillan for the WBO interim belt. And then I think Derek Cuevas is who he beat for the, I don't know whether he was upgraded to full fat WBO champ or whether he beat Cuevas for the full fat belt. But the win over Jin Sasaki had people thinking, this guy's a banger. I thought he was a future superstar in boxing. He may still be. One defeat, don't put him back too much. He's only 25, for Christ's sake. But he's got some learning to do. And I think the chickens came home to roost a little bit here with his limitations. Because the one thing Haney has got is skill and bags of it. He's not entertaining to watch. This was not a particularly exciting fight again. He remains technically undefeated because the Ryan Garcia fight was a no contest. He looked like a scared rabbit in his one fight after Garcia and before this one, which was against Jose Ramirez. He widely outpointed Ramirez, but whenever Ramirez got close, Haney was just grabbing and holding on for dear life, like a sailor grabbing the mast in a storm, And I thought Brian Norman Jr., being the confident guy that he is, would go in there and put the heat on Haney and chop him down. But no, after that second round knockdown, Brian Norman Jr. did not seem to brim with confidence as you would expect him to. The facial expression, he looked sort of a bit, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. And from there on in, there were little spurts where he moved forward and tried to put pressure on Haney, but Haney controlled everything. Very good jab, as we know, jab very well. He was still quite conservative in his output, still quite not reluctant to fire salvos, but, had a sort of conservative mindset where he wasn't going to let too much go too quickly. He wanted to be maybe a little bit too precise. Norman Jr. just ran out of ideas. He had to just get stuck in, and he couldn't. He won, like I say, the occasional round. I think I gave him 3 rounds. If you gave him 4 out of 12, okay. But no, this was Haney all over. It was clearly Haney's win. And I think he exercised a few demons in this fight because of the Ryan Garcia no contest where he was floored, 3 times, and basically beaten up badly. Not just beaten, but beaten up. And against another heavy-hitting guy, a welterweight, because this was actually Haney's debut at welterweight. So he was taking on a guy who was undefeated, had the belt, coming off a very big knockout, Fair play to Haney. I mean, Haney ducks no one. He is not an entertaining fighter to watch, not for me personally. I appreciate he's very, very skillful, but I don't think he's Mr. Entertainment. But he's ducked absolutely no one. Undisputed lightweight champ. Did he win a belt at 140? What was it? Oh, yeah, Prograis. He beat Prograis, didn't he? A unanimous decision for the WBC belt. But you know, now he's up at welterweight. That's fine. You know, it's technically very, very good. But the fact that he will take on anyone makes me respect him, even though he's not very entertaining. Like I say, for Brian Norman Jr., back to the drawing board. But, you know, again, 25 years old. I mean, Haney's only 27. He's got plenty of years left, you would think. I thought he might be, you know, real damaged goods after the Garcia fight, but apparently not. But I have to say I was a bit disappointed with Brian Norman Jr. because he faced that crisis when he was knocked down in the second round. And, you know, you expect him to come back all guns blazing. He didn't. He just seemed to sort of go into his shell a little bit mentally and almost like he was a bit shocked at what had happened. And that's disappointing because it hints at someone who is a good front runner but doesn't like it up him, which I don't particularly think bodes well for the future. But he's got to just eat a bit of humble pie and go back and see what he can do. But for Haney, unifications, I suppose. He's got that WBO belt, pick up other belts somewhere along the line. The welterweights there's a few good ones floating around, but they're not exactly stacked. So Haney can pick up other belts, score unifications. Yeah. And at 27, of course, he's still got years ahead of him. He is not the damaged goods necessarily, or certainly not as bad as I first thought. And like I say, I got this prediction completely wrong. But then so did a lot of people. A lot of us went for Brian Norman Jr. by stoppage. You've got to hold your hand up, haven't you? But there we are. Anyway, what did you think of the fight? I don't think it was the most thrilling of fights, but very good performance by Haney. What do you think? Who do you think should be next for Haney? Let me know. Leave all your comments below, of course. And we have got Anthony Yard versus our friend Mr. Benavidez to come. Can Yard do it against the big guy? I don't know about that. David Benavidez is... Well, what am I doing? I'm almost doing a preview here, aren't I? But no, I'm going to do a review of that fight. But that's the main one. That's still to come. So look out for the review of that. And yeah, leave your comments about this fight below, and I'll catch you later. Thanks for your support. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Bye for now.